power OG unit. Okay. Ah. Oh, that wind. There's a very severe chill in the breeze. My tyres are very cold. I can tell that. And and of course I've steamed up again because I'm hot property me. Oh yes, very hot property. Oh god. Oh, VFL. Very nice VFL at that. I smell food. So usually when I get on my bike, around about this time, a tune usually pops into my head. At this precise moment in time, nothing has, which is very unusual. I don't want to sing it. Oh no, we've turned to red. Oh, God almighty. We stopped. If it does, because I'm going to be doing a little kind of side playlist on my channel, whereas the song, when it pops into my head, I'm going to hum it and see if you can guess it. It could be from this morning, it could be from later on today. There was certainly a degree of kind of frosting on my bike this morning, so it just goes to show roughly how cold it is. So I think we're going to be in for an absolutely amazing summer this year. Because if you look now, the sky's blue, the sun's out. It's the last day of March, in fact. Yeah, it's starting to look good. It's starting to look like we're going to go for a really good summer. So, I was listening to the news this morning about this Egyptian hijacking of the plane, and apparently one of the passengers wanted a selfie or wanted his picture taken with the terrorist. Now you got to ask, seriously, I've got to look into this. I've got to go on to this. I don't know much about it myself, but I've got to go and look into it later on. Now, was he doing it so that there's, he's got an image just in case this guy blows himself up? So obviously there's an image of the guy so they know who it is. Or is it like, oh look, I want to be really cool and have my photograph taken with a hijacker? I don't know. It seems like a very bizarre request. I did catch a picture, a glimpse of the picture, and he's like grinning like a Cheshire cat next to this guy with this belt on that looks like a bomb, but apparently turned out it was a fake bomb. It was a fake hijacking. But even so, to ask the hijacker if you can have your photograph taken with him, a bit ballsy, but at the same time a bit stupid. So I don't know. I seriously wonder what goes through people's heads these days, because I really don't know. I really don't know. Oh, what else? Not a lot else really to talk about there. I think I need to keep up to date with all current topics. Obviously, April next month we We have our EU referendum. I suppose I should really talk about that, seeing as I'm British. I'm a motorcyclist, and next month is the EU referendum as to whether we should stay in or stay out of the EU. I'm still on the fence on that one, but I am swinging slightly to leave the EU. I know there was talk, especially as I'm a motorcyclist, there was some talk last year, I believe, that the EU was trying to bring in legislation which would stop you from modifying or putting aftermarket parts on your bike. So for somebody like myself, this would mean that my bike, lovely little classic bike that she is, as she's an 89 CBR 600 FK, good old jelly mould, it would mean that I would not be able to get the parts because Honda do not make the parts anymore. I have to rely on aftermarket and second-hand parts. And even the second-hand market for these bikes is drying up. So if I disappear, if it's too windy down here, guys, I'll catch up later on. In fact, actually, I'm just going to join the A1. So we're going to cut from here, and I'll catch up with you a bit later on down the bottom when I pull off, because this is going to be cold as well. Right guys, welcome back. That was a bit of a chilly ride down the A1. So getting back to what I was talking about, with the EU referendum, it's not just, it's not just motorcyclists that it affects. It's hauliers, it's fishing, it's agriculture, it's pretty much everything to do with day-to-day life. It's not just about benefits, it's not just about migrants, immigrants, border control, etc., etc. It impacts a hell of a lot. Now, what you've got to bear in mind, this is just my opinion, my own opinion, and what information I found out in respect to it. If we all voted, and we did vote to come out of the EU, from my point of view, from what I can see, in the short term, it's going to affect us. But in the long term, it's going to be better for us. Purely because the fact that we can build up the British industry again. We've lost car manufacturing, we've lost hosiery manufacturing. We used to have a massive industry in respect of engineering in the UK. Leicester was a massive engineering and hosiery town. Birmingham again, hosiery. Coventry again, engineering. That's all gone. That's vanished. Yeah, we would have to negotiate for export, but that's no more different than the likes of Sweden and Norway. And then you have to look at the fact that Greece, Italy, Spain, they're all members of the EU. They all took on the euro, and they're now pretty much bankrupt. Greece in particular has had so many bailouts since the last financial collapse. So you have to ask yourself, on most points of view, is it worth it? Is it worth staying in something which a lot of people consider as a sinking ship? Because to be quite honest with you, it is totally mismanaged. But at the moment, nobody's actually giving really true facts. Everybody's believing what one party says or what the other party says. So, and you've got a lot of scaremongering going on, a lot of scaremongering. I decided, I've read a couple of articles online, well-written articles, I will admit. No bias in them at all, no political bias, should I say, in them at all. And they've talked about, one was how the EU started. If I can find the links, I can find them. I'll stick them in the comments, in the description below. But one was about how the EU got started. And in respect to the fact that we've actually been lied to since 1954. Oh, hello, somebody buggered up the red lights. Oh, no. Apparently we've been lied to since 1954 with regards to the EU. This was all set up in 1954.
Um, but the politicians never actually told us the truth about what was going on. The second article was about the fishing industry. And when you read that, the bureaucracy and everything that the fishing industry has to go through, it's no wonder fishing boat skippers commit suicide. They're under a hell of a lot of pressure. And it's the same with the haulage firms, haulage companies. They're under a lot of pressure as well, all because of additional policies and procedures brought out by the EU.
Now, you could argue that, yeah, this is good for the or safe. It's good in the respect of that it's creating a safe environment. But with regards to the fishing side, the fishing industry, it's actually making it more complicated. I'm not going to go into the details here because that would take too long and everybody would fall asleep. But at the end of the day, you have to make your mind up. But in order to make your mind up, you need to get the proper information. You need to make an informed decision and not just listen to the political parties who are only out there campaigning for their own best interests. You know, the choice is yours, as they would say. So there we go, guys. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. So I'm almost at work now. What I'm going to do is when I get to work, I'm going to have a look at this guy about this photograph, as to what his reasons were for photographing himself with a hijacker of a plane. And I'll catch you guys later on my way home from work. So I'm signing off now. It's been a great ride. It's been a fresh, breezy, chilling ride. And I'll catch you later. Ciao for now.